This is the hip aeroplane. This is an exercise that's really going to work on hip internal and external rotation, and it's going to help with our pelvis moving around our femur, which is going to stay dead still. So basically we've got the ball and socket joint. If this is the top of our femur, so the top of this leg here, this is our pelvis, this is really going to work with the moving nice and round it, as opposed to where typically we'll work leg around from there, okay? So we've got 3 options that I'm going to show you today. They're going to get progressively harder. The final one is all about balance as well. So that's really challenging and it's got huge carryover into what we want to do. So I'm going to do side on and front on so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to demonstrate with left leg. So left leg is going to go down, right leg comes back. Now from here, we want a soft knee, lovely straight spine, chest up, shoulders back, leg fully extended on our tiptoe, on our back foot. So hands on hips. Once this kind of creates like the aeroplane wings, if you will, which is where it gets its name from. So from here, I'm going to really work on keeping this leg still. I'm going to turn my upper body and my pelvis as one, okay? So it's going to mean that shoulder and hip move together, stays in a dead straight line. From this position here, I've got immense amount of stretch going on in my groin and my adductor. This is external rotation. My bum cheek's really working hard. And then from here, we then reverse that, down back to flat. And then we're going to go the opposite way, again keeping that in. So now I've got a lot of contraction going on in my groin, and I've got a big stretch going on in my adductor. And then again from there we float out, all the way around, lovely and smooth, back to here. Now it's really important that this doesn't move. So when we go front onto the camera, hopefully you'll be able to see that even more. So again, nice and square, just like so. From this position, keep this point at the camera. We're then going to rotate out and round, hips and shoulders moving as one. And then from there, drop back in, rotate, let that hip drop down, and again, working through from there. Now, with this exercise, it's really important that it's a pelvic driven move, okay? So what can happen, especially with people that are more flexible, create compensations, if I'm in this position here, I can actually turn my upper body without my hips moving. So you can see how this is, I'm doing what looks like the move, however, my hips aren't moving, and that's not what you want to focus on, okay? So really be conscious that the movement is driven from that pelvis rotating on that hip. You should feel this hip really, really working. If not, it might be that we're just moving our torso and our upper body without our hips moving. So that's top tip to make sure you do right. Next up, this is now the bridge. So this is like secondary. It's a little bit harder, but not the hardest. So we're going to do supported with a rear leg elevated. So left leg down, right leg holding onto your golf club, holding onto a stick like this one. I'm going to get into this position here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do the exact same move. Shoulder and pelvis move as one. Head underneath arm, back, and then flow down onto the other side. Up and round. And again, I'm being driven by my left hip, not my shoulders. Out and round. That is the second one. Now the hardest one is where we take that stick away and we do it purely on balance. So you're going to get into that lovely straight position, chest up, shoulders back, leg out straight. Find your balance first. Good. And then once we're in, we then rotate. Nice and strong. Little pause. And then rotate back down. Rotating on that hip the whole time. Really challenging, really fantastic exercise for hip internal, external rotation.